Hello guys, welcome to the third video on capital budgeting. In the first two videos we have discussed on the traditional method of capital budgeting, where we have discussed on payback period and accounting rate of return. In today's video we will discuss on the discounted cash flow approach. Now the major limitation of the traditional approach, which we already have done, is that it do not take into account the time value of money concept. But in case of discounted cash flow approach, it takes into consideration the concept of time value of money. Now the cash flows at different period of time differ in value and to be compared only when they are expressed in terms of a common denominator. Now what it means? See, the investment, if the investment is happening on the 0th year, we term it as a present value of cash outflow, because it's an investment. That is the reason why we term it as a cash outflow. And if the investment is happening on the 0th year, we term that investment as present value of cash outflow. Now automatically in the next few years that I am talking about, the next few years in the sense the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, we are going to receive certain amount of cash inflow. Since we are going to receive after a certain time, we mention that particular thing as a future value of cash inflow. Now see, one is a present value of cash outflow, another is a future value of cash inflow. Now we require to come to a common denominator. Now what I mean by common denominator is in the sense that the value of money as on the 0th year will be higher compared to maybe the other years, future years, where the value of money is going to go down as per the time value of money concept. Therefore we require to convert the future value of cash inflows to present value of future cash inflow. That is the reason why we say that the common denominator is the present value. Now the next important concept is that discounted cash flow approach can be classified under three heads. So these are three methods which are there under discounted cash flow approach. The first is net present value method, which is popularly known as NPV. Next is internal rate of return, which is IRR, and profitability index, which is termed as PI. In today's video and in the next few videos, we will be discussing on the net present value method and we'll be solving few problems from the chapter net present value under capital budgeting. Now what is net present value method? Now net present value method is one of the discounted cash flow technique explicitly recognizing time value of money, as we said, because it's part of the discounted cash flow approach. Now it is considered to be the best method. We said in the last video also that discounted cash flow method or approach is the best alternative compared to traditional method, and among the discounted cash flow methods, net present value method is mostly used in the industry. So therefore NPV is one of the best method here. Now in order to understand NPV, we require to understand four important points. Number one, now the first point says that there are a few terms like we say, if the investment has happened in the 0th year, we say it as a present value of cash outflow. Now why we say it's a cash outflow? Because it's an investment, and if it is happening on the 0th year, we are saying it's a present value of cash outflow. The second important point is, if we are getting cash inflow, we say it's a future value of cash inflow. Now as what we said, that we require to transfer the future value of cash inflow into present value. So the third important concept comes is the present value of all future value of cash inflow. Now what it means? It means that, say for example, if the investment is happening in the 0th year, and after first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and say fifth year, we are getting certain amount of inflows. So we are getting, so here is what the investment is happening. This is the particular place where the investment is happening, and since the investment is happening This is the investment which is happening in the 0th year, and that is the reason why we say it has a PV of cash outflow at the 0th year. Now inflows are happening in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year, say for example. So these all are termed as future value of cash inflow. Now what we require in order to compare, we require to come to a common denominator. Now what is this common denominator? The common denominator is present value. So we come down to, so first year required to be discounted, the amount required to be discounted to 0 year. For the second year, it also required to be discounted to 0 year. For third year, it required to be discounted to 0 year. Fourth year also required to be discounted to 0 year. Fifth year required to be discounted to 0 year. So this means that we are discounting all future value of cash inflow, to the present year, that is the 0th year, and that is the reason why we term it as present value of future cash inflow. The second important point which we also have discussed while we discussed concept of valuation, if you remember, is about the discounting factor, because in this particular method we require to know about the discounting factor. Now discounting factor formula was, if you remember, so discounting factor, if you remember, the formula was 1 divided by 1 plus r to the power n. This was the particular formula, and we said that how we use this particular discounting factor in order to calculate the discounting rate of say rupee 1. So if I have to find out discounting factor of rupee 1 for a period of say 1, 2, 3, 4, just a minute, 4 and say the fifth year. So if I require to find out the discounting factor for rupee 1 for these 5 years and say the discounting factor is at 10%, then how we do? So we use this particular formula, 1 divided by 1 plus r to the power n, and we use a calculator in order to find it. So how we do? So 1 divided by bracket, because there is a power, 10%, so 1.1, so bracket close, to the power. Now what we do? It's for 1 year. So 1 year means after 1 year rupee 1 will be 0.909. After 2 years rupee 1 will be 0.826. After 3 years rupee 1 will be 0.751. After 4 years the value of rupee 1 deteriorates to 0.683, so almost 68 paisa, and after 5th year it will be 0.620. So this is a particular technique which we require to know. The first point was with reference to the present value and the future value, and how we convert the future value of cash inflow to present value. The second important concept is about how we calculate discounting factor. Third comes is how we calculate NPV. Now NPV, for calculating NPV, the formula is NPV is equal to present value of future cash inflow. So I've converted those, minus present value of cash outflow, which I mean by investment. So present value of future cash inflow minus present value of cash outflow. This is a particular formula which we use. Now obviously, if say for example the present value of cash outflow is rupees 1 lakh, so I would be expecting that my investment is 1 lakh, so present value of future cash inflow should be more than 1 lakh. So it should be more than 1 lakh. Otherwise there is no use of investing in this particular project. So if I have invested PV of cash inflow, that is the investment is 1 lakh, so my expectation will be that future cash inflow, if I convert it into present value, it should be more than 1 lakh. Then only I can see certain benefit in investing in certain project. So what is the accept reject rules? The accept reject rule states that number 1, if NPV is greater than 0. So if it is more, say for example, if this is 1,20,000, so 1,20,000 minus 1 lakh is greater than 0, then what I say? I accept the investment proposal. Number 2, if NPV is less than 0, then what I say? I reject the proposal. Say for example, if this was 90,000, so I would have rejected the proposal. And the third point is if NPV is equal to 0, then we are indifferent. Like, what is indifferent? You may not invest. If you wish, you can invest. If you feel like, you may not invest. So you are indifferent with respect to that particular approach. So these are the 4 important points which we require to understand. Now, in order to understand the formula and as well as the concept of the accept and reject rules, let's move into a particular problem. Now, let's see this particular problem. The problem states that the initial investment from the point of view of a particular company is rupees 50,000. And total 5 years has been given and cash inflow has been given. The future cash inflow has been given. So after year 1, we receive 5,000 and after year 5, we receive 20,000. So this is the particular information has been given and being asked whether we require to invest in this particular project. So let's calculate. So we got what information we got? We got this information that investment. So investment is rupees 50,000. This information has been given. The investment figure is rupees 50,000 and here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years given and cash inflow given. Now this cash inflow is future cash inflow. So cash inflow has been given and the figures are 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, 13,000 rupees, 17,000 rupees and 20,000 rupees. If I add up all this, this is coming to 65,000 rupees. Now it might seem to me that I am willing to invest rupees 50,000 as on date in the 0th year, and after 5 years total I am going to receive 65,000. So it might seem the project to be good enough, but we know that in NPV, net present value method, which is under discounted cash flow approach, it takes into consideration time value of money. So we require to convert. The future cash inflows to its present value. So what we do, we first try to calculate the discounting factor of rupee 1, DF at the rate rupee 1, and let's consider the discounting factor to be 10%. So if it is 10%, as we know how to calculate. So for the first year will be 0.909. For the second year it will be 0.826. For the third year it will be 0.751. For the fourth year it will be 0.683. And for the final year it will be 0.621. So these are the discounting factor. Now how we calculate the PV of future cash inflow? How we calculate the PV of future cash inflow? We multiply 5,000 with 0.909. So we again require a calculator to solve it. So for the first year, it's 5,000 is the cash inflow and the discounting factor is 0.909. So it is coming 4545. For the second year, it's the investment is 10,000. The cash inflow is 10,000 into 0.826. So it's coming 8260. For the third year, the investment is 13,000 into 0.751. So it's coming 9763. For the fourth year, it is 17,000 multiplied by 0.683. It's coming 11,611. And for the final year, the fifth year, the cash inflow is 20,000 multiplied by the discounting factor 0.621. It's coming 12,420. So if I add up, what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the present value of future cash inflow. So if I add up, so 4545 plus 8260 plus 9763 plus 11,611 plus 12,420. So we're getting 46,599. So this is the particular amount which we are getting. PV of cash, future cash inflow is 46,599. Now if I require to calculate NPV, so what is the formula of NPV? Now NPV is, so what is the formula of NPV? Is the present value, this one, of future cash inflow minus the present value of cash outflow. So this is the formula. The present value of future cash inflow minus the present value of future cash, present value of cash outflow. Now, what is the amount of the present value of future cash inflow? 46,599 minus what is the present value of cash outflow? Is the investment which has happened on the 0th year, which is rupees 50,000, which is equal to, now if we calculate this, so 46,599 minus 50,000, it's coming minus 3401. So minus, we can put it in bracket, 3401. Now if it is coming minus 3401, what so we require to conclude, we require to give a decision to this particular problem. So what will be the decision? Do I invest, or whether I will not invest in this particular project? Now since, if you go back, we said that if NPV is greater than 0, we accept the project. If NPV is less than 0, this is negative, so it's less than 0. If NPV is less than 0, then what we say? We reject the proposal. So my decision here that will be that we reject the investment proposal because the NPV is negative. So I hope the first elementary part of the discussion about how we calculate NPV and how we calculate present value of future cash inflow with reference to the discounting factor of rupee 1 is clear. We will solve one more case in today's video. Let's go through the particular problem. Now the problem states, now here comes, there are two projects. Now the two projects are project A and project B, and being mentioned that the investment of project A is 65,000 and the investment for project B is 75,000. So there is more amount of investment in project B, and the cash inflow for year 1 to year 5 for project A and project B given. Now we require to find out which of the project we can invest, or which particular project to select for investment. So how we do? So let's come back. So here what we got, so we have a year, so we got year. The second part is we know the cash inflow of project. We know the cash inflow of project A. We also know the cash inflow of project B. We require to, in order to bring the future value to its present state, that means the future value to present value, we require to discount. So discounting factor at the rate 10%, and we require to convert it to a present value for project A and present value for project B. So this is what we got. So we require to calculate now. So here project A, project B, discounting value, discounting part, project PV of project A and PV of project B, and we got first year, second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year. This information has been given. So the inflow is, so project A inflow is 10,000, project B is 15,000, project C is 20,000. We can find out from the problem itself. It's given 25,000 and 30,000. Now here what the decision is, which particular project I require to select. From project B, The inflow is 15,000 for year 1, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000 and 35,000. So let me find out first what is the total amount of money which we are going to get after year 1, after 5 years. So project A, if I calculate this, it's coming 1 lakh. So I will be getting 1 lakh from project A and 1 lakh 10,000 from project B, if I add up. Now the fact is that the investment for project A was 65,000. So investing 65,000, after 5 years I will be getting 1 lakh. Investment for project B was 75,000. So this project A was, investment was 65,000 and project B, the investment was 75,000. Now I understand that even though there is a difference, project B is giving 1 lakh 10,000 rupees more, but it's also a fact that I require to invest 10,000 rupees more for in project B. So I require to find out whether project B is good enough for investment compared to that of project A. So we are aware of how we calculate discounting factor. So discounting factor at the rate 10% of rupee 1. So for the first year, you know the calculation, 0.909. If you are not sure about the calculation, kindly refer to the video of concept of valuation where we have discussed the discounting concept. So 0.901, 0.826, 0.751, 0.683 and 0.621. So what we have did, we have taken down the discounting rates. Now what we are going to apply, we are going to calculate the present value of project A with reference to present value of project A. These are the future flows, cash inflows. So we are going to convert it into present value. So let's calculate. For the first year, will be 10,000 into 0.909. So 10,000 into 0.909 is 9090. So we got this as 9090. For the second, it's 15,000. So 15,000 into 0.826 into 0.826, it's 12,390. For the third year, it's 20,000 into 0.7751, it's 15,020. For the next year, it's 25,000. So 25,000 into 0.683, we are getting 17,075. And for the final year, it's 30,000. I'm talking about only project A into 0.621. So we got it as 18,630. Similarly, let's calculate for project B. So for project B, it's 15,000 into 0.909. It's coming 13,635. For the next year, it was 15,000 into 0.826. So 826, it's coming 12,390. For the third year, it is 20,000 into 0.751. It's coming 15,020. For the next year, it's 25,000. So 25,000 multiplied by 0.683. So 0.683, it's coming 17,075. Because we have more or less kept the amount same, such that we can compare it properly. And for last year, it was 35,000. So 35,000 into 0.621, it's coming 21,735. Now what we require to do? Now what we require to do is to find out the present value of future cash inflow both for project A and project B. So if we add up, so let's talk about project A, the future value, the present value of future cash inflow for project A. So 9090 plus 12,390 plus 15,020 plus 17,075 plus 18,630, we are getting 72,205. if we add up project B, the present value of future cash inflow of project B is 13,635 plus 12,390 plus 15,020 plus 17,075 plus 21,735. It's coming 79,855. So this refers to the overall amount of money which you have got, which is not very important. Important is this figure. This is the present value of future cash inflow of project A. This is the present value of future cash inflow of project B. Now we are aware of the fact that NPV, if I have to calculate NPV is PV of future cash inflow minus PV of outflow. This is a formula which we know. PV of outflow. Now what we require to do here is that what is the investment? So let's talk about the amount of investment which they have done. So thereafter we will discuss about the formula. So investment is, what is the investment figure? So investment is basically my amount which has been investment in the 0th year. So I can term this as the PV of cash outflow. So if this is PV of cash inflow, so this is PV of cash outflow, which is 65,000 for project A and 75,000 for project B. So if I subtract this, I get NPV for both the projects. Now NPV is how much? So you use a calculator again. So 72,205 minus 65,000. It's coming 7205. So it's coming 7205, which is positive for project A. And let's calculate project B. It's 79,855 minus 75,000. It's coming 4,855. Now what did it first? See, both the project has a positive NPV. So both the projects are good. Both the projects are good in the sense both has a positive NPV. Now, I would have checked from here, I would have said project B is good because it is giving me more money. But that's not the picture. The picture is, if you check here, the NPV of project A is higher than the NPV of project B. So what will be the decision? So if anybody asks me to take a decision on this, my answer will be that since the NPV of project A is positive as well as the NPV of project B is positive, we can accept both the projects. We can accept both the projects. But if I have to invest only in one project, then the preference will be that the project with a higher NPV, that is 7205, will be selected. So I hope the concept is clear, because and we have more or less have discussed about the elementary part of how we calculate net present value, NPV. In the following few videos coming up, we will be discussing difficult problems on NPV. We will be solving few problems on NPV in the coming classes. So I hope the concepts are clear. Thank you. Have a good day.